go get them again.
Welcome back to the Robes Away channel. I'm your host, Mark, and on the docket today we have an unboxing first impression video on the brand of Armani. This is from their Emporio Armani line, not to be confused with the Giorgio Armani line, which has ADG code and all that. Emporio Armani is like a subsection of the Giorgio Armani portfolio. And honestly, not the most popular. Well, Stronger With You, that line's pretty popular. I think that was their real... Well, this one was it was a hit back then, but I feel like the Stronger With You line doesn't really portray Emporio Armani personally for me, as far as the line goes, and their other releases in the line. Personally, I felt like it was more grown up type of line. This one called, by the way, might as well introduce it. It's called He or Il, Lui. I think it's Lui, Il, He, etc., etc. So this one right here used to be, not used to be, well, used to be, now that I'm gonna get to smell it, used to be on my to buy list for years. I remember when this first launched, the He and the She counterparts, and this is just a part of my thought process, and I could be wrong because I was fairly young at the time. This was released in 1998, re-released in 2020, by the way. This, I believe, is an older version, not a re-release. Now, going back to it, I think I remember this being uber expensive and kind of looking like well, just like this. This is a flanker. This is remix of this particular release. Remix, it reminded me of like Axe and stuff, like the early days of that stuff. So the bottle itself wasn't sexy, but it was super expensive. I feel, and maybe I was dreaming this, but I felt like this was like almost like $30, $40 more than the Giorgio Armani stuff that was coming out. Now, I might be wrong. I remember the days fondly when this was, you know, in the mid 2000s, where I really ramped up and started being on YouTube, that this was at discounters. And it was always on my list to blind buy. So I never smelt this fragrance. It had its cult following. And what do I mean by that? Is just a small portion of people that really stand by this fragrance and say it's really, really good. And you know, I blind bought this thing remix for super cheap. Like these were about the same price, but I thought, you know, I just threw this into a mega haul, thinking that I was going to get this anyway. But yeah, this didn't impress me much. Remix, it's probably worth quite a penny now. It's been discontinued for a long time. Now let's delve into this one. Let's go back in the day, back in the late 90s. Before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed yet, hey, I'd really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button and smash that like button if you're subscribed or not. I really appreciate it. Just get me into the algorithm. Not that it needs it in this video. This is the type of videos that people won't be watching, unfortunately. But I love doing this. 90s was my jam. You know, Issey Miyake's and Le Mal, and that was the start of me, like Boss Bottled and things like that just started hitting with me. So I have a soft spot for mid 90s to late 90s releases, even early 90s, some of them. Obviously, I have an affection of all things of fragrance wide, but Armani as a brand, not anything crazy for me personally. I was never an EDG guy. I was never a code guy. Really, they keep missing for me. They're good, but they're not great. And their price tag now reflects like going against the big boys, the Chanels, the Dior's, the Hermes, and the quality personally isn't there. So let's take a look at the note breakdown. And lots of woods in this. Cedar, Gaiac, sandalwood, even vetiver. Really dominates the note breakdown. You got musk in the back end, which is like a nothing. And then you got sage, cardamom, and yuzu. Yuzu, obviously from Issey Miyake fame. We'll see if that pops off in this release. Sage, obviously some green nuances from the cardamom and sage, we'll see. So again, let's go back. It was released back in 1998. It was heavily a good seller for Armani. At some point, it started hitting discounters for like 50 bucks. I remember that really vividly. And then it was kind of maybe off the market in some places, but some places it still worked. I think it's still sold in some regions, we'll say. North America, I don't think it was readily available for a few years. And then re-released in 2020, of course. Noses, there's two types. And again, this is a fragrance that I really didn't keep my eyes on. So there's like 3-4 noses attached to this. I think the re-release was somebody else. I'm going to go with Sophie Labbe and Daniela Andrier, you know, Daniela Andrier from Prada fame. So that could make sense, but there's other perfumes attached to this fragrance, but I think it was the 2021. So let's unbox this and see what we get. This is from the huge Fragflex haul. This package used to come into, I remember unboxing this thing. It was like it was almost like a gift. It was vacuum sealed. It wasn't a box like this. It was actually in vacuum sealed. And then in a box, obviously. Plastic, plastic, and then rubberized top. So you can spray. It does say Emporio Armani. So let's delve into it. Let's put this beside Remix. I haven't worn that in probably 10 years. I'm probably due. I don't even remember what it smells like. I would have to put it on and kind of go, aha. So let's delve into this one. Atomizers are okay. Like if you know Mugler Amen, that's kind of the type of atomizer you're going to be getting out of this. So let's sniff it. Let's see what we get. You know what? That fresh, clean 90s release. Think CK1. Think Issey Miyake Puram. Kenzo. Think those type of fragrances. I was not expecting that. It has that calming Issey Miyake vibe. And what do I mean by that? It has a light citrus up top. It has an air of floral in the middle, a little bit of herbs sprinkled here and there, and then, you know, that sage. And then light woods. I could end the video right there. Like 90s baby Issey Miyake kind of vibe. Well composed, actually. Honestly, like well done by Armani. You know, a lot of their fragrances don't have personality, and I would kind of put this in there. Like it doesn't have a face to it. It's not anything crazy, but it's well done. Let's put it on skin. Scent of the day. And you know what? I'm gonna have no issues wearing this as scent of the day. Just cause it's light, citrusy. That yuzu pops. Just like an Issey Miyake. Now it's not fully colorful, but it's really nice. It has that sage hit here, so you got some greens. You have that cardamom spice too. It really reminds me of that melange from the 90s with a little musky, woody backbone. Slightly herbal, slightly soapy. Yeah, there is some green aspects here. Actually, a lot more greens than I anticipated. And again, sage, cardamom does throw off green nuances, but it has, and vetiver has some green nuances, of course, but it also has a mossy quality, and I don't think I saw oak moss in the note breakdown, at least it's not listed in front of me here. But it has that air of, it's safe, daily wear scents, office wear scent, like 100% office safe. Man, there's a floral in here, and there's none in the no breakdown, none at all. I'm thinking lavender, maybe, with its barbershop quality, but it also has, I feel like it has juniper berries as well. It's really going in that genre of powdery, soapy, clean, freshly shaven kind of man. It actually kind of feels like a time capsule, like pun intended, in time, in the 90s, mid 90s. It feels like that. I like it. Surprisingly, I didn't know what I was going to get with this fragrance and this branding, but it does fall into that Armani diamonds. It falls into Armani code, and I know those are a little more popular with, you know, Acqua di Gio, but really in that I'm solid in my space, but I'm never going to be the all-star. And we could say that, like, I'm saying that loosely because EDG is a classic, and people put it as the, you know, depending on who you talk to, it could be the aquatic, you know, of the time, right? Top-notch aquatic. And honestly, it's arguable, but I could see your point. But Code never really felt like a tuxedo type scent. I mean, it was too clean. I mean, it was too daytime-ish to be a nighttime scent, personally, for me. Armani Diamonds, again, just lukewarm, among others. Armani's been in that area, but this feels, safe, but bang on, like really well done. Really well balanced. I almost feel like I prefer this over Armani Code, and saying that like it's better in its slot than Armani Code was. Definitely. This pulls off office safe all day, every day. So Emporio Armani's lui, he, whatever you want to call it, was an interesting idea. The bottles always looked cheap to me, and it just reminded me of the early days of Axe and stuff like that. And was a reason why I never sniffed it, I guess. I never, sometimes you get closed-minded, as open-minded as I can be. But it also has like, now, like these mid-90s fragrances, a lot of them smell like a fresh deodorant. So you can, go the other way and say it's classy, it's office safe and all that. But then on the other hand, you're smelling this and you could say it smells like just a regular deodorant for men. And I could see both sides of the coin. I'm feeling that kind of vibe there in here, because it has that soapy cleanliness, but it has a little bit of herbal tendencies and a little bit of a woody backdrop, kind of like some soaps and some deodorants have for men to make it manly. At the end of the day, I don't hate it. I like it. Super versatile, easy to wear, don't have to think about it, office safe, all that good stuff. Really is that part of that. It's a time capsule, like early 90s to, before 2010. It fits right in as like a daily wear scent, inoffensive, easy to wear, well blended. Well constructed fragrance from Emporio Armani. I'm happy to have it in my collection. It'll go right beside my 100 ml remix here that I didn't really like, honestly. I have to revisit that one, but yeah. Now I got this one obviously at fragflex.com with the mega haul. You can too. You can use code TFG10. You get 10% off. So I know a lot of people are, again, a cult following this fragrance. So I don't know, like this is actually a tester. It says right here, a tester. I didn't even see that sticker now. So this is the older version, I believe. So if you're interested, maybe you'll luck out and get the older version. If I don't know about the 2020 version, don't ask. I don't know if it was heavily reformulated. I'm assuming so, something from the late 90s. Yeah. Yeah, and now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below, good, bad, and the ugly. Again, you don't have to co-sign me. You don't have to hate me for my taste. But yeah, let us know what you think. I'm sure some of you, there's some subscribers of mine that started their journey with this thing, or it was their signature scent once upon a time, because I could see this as a very solid signature scent for somebody in that time period. A solid release from Armani. And I don't, I'm not scared to say that. Yeah, not bad from the brand. Dated? No, I don't think so. It doesn't smell old manish. It smells in that time period though. Like Issey Miyake put on. If you don't like that kind of stuff, ignore it. If you do like that kind of stuff, I think this is worth a sniff. Yeah. And as always, a great pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.